again, teacher Youssef here. As you can see, we are still studying the past simple, but this time we don't have regular verbs, we have irregular verbs. Okay, let's get started. First, before we start, we should revise what we have studied last time, which is the simple past also, but regular verbs. Yesterday, I told you that we have regular verbs and irregular verbs. Regular verbs, it's easy to make them in the past. You just have to add ed or d or ied. For example, we have visit becomes visited. We add ed because we don't have e at the end of visit. Dance, we add only d because we already have e. Cry is a special case in which we add I-E-D. It becomes cried, and we omit the y. And these are regular verbs. And we also have the affirmative of the simple past, which is, for example, we played chess last week, she danced all night, and the baby cried all night. We've also seen the negative form, which is, for example, we didn't play chess yesterday. And the interrogative one, did we play chess yesterday? In the interrogative, we simply switch or swap the auxiliary with the subject, and we add a question mark at the end. But today, we're going to study irregular verbs of the simple past. Stay tuned and focus, please. Now, we have the same text that we have seen last time. Jenny's teacher. Let's read the text again, shall we? Last week, Jenny went to school early, excited to meet her favorite teacher. But when she arrived, she saw a strange man in the class instead of her teacher. She walked towards the desk and said with a clear voice, "That's my teacher's seat." The man who was a substitute teacher smiled and told Jenny that her teacher was a bit sick and added, "Can you please have me just for today?" Jenny smiled back at him as a sign of agreement and decided to give him a chance. Well, you can see in this text we have 4 verbs which are underlined and in red. And these are the irregular verbs that we have in this text. Well, the first one is went. The second one, saw. The third one, said. The fourth one, told. Now, you may notice that these verbs are different from the verbs of yesterday, which are regular verbs. They all end with d, or ed, or ied. But these verbs are different. We have went, saw, said, and told. They are a bit different. Okay, so let's see why. Next. Okay, now, let's see the affirmative. Jenny went to school. She saw a strange man. She said with a clear voice. And she told Jenny her teacher was sick. Well, now, if you see in these verbs, they are different, and these verbs are in the simple past. Now, let's see what is the form of these verbs in the present simple. Oh, now, go in the present, in the past, it becomes went. Saw in the past, it's see in the present. And say in the present, it's said in the past. Tell becomes told. Okay, now, these verbs are called irregular verbs because they don't have a rule. There is no rule. You just have to remember them. So, go in the present, if I want to say that I go in the past, I say I went. Or see, I saw. Or say, I said. Or tell, I told. Now, the negative is pretty much the same as the one of regular verbs, because the verb remains unchanged. We do not change the verb in the interrogative and in the negative forms. Jenny didn't, short form, or did not, long form, go to school. She didn't or did not see a strange man. She didn't or did not say with a clear voice. Lastly, he didn't or did not tell Jenny her teacher is sick. Now, if you pay attention, you are going to see that we just added didn't or did not, and the verb remains in the infinitive form or in the present form. As for the interrogative, we just, as I said before, we change the position of the auxiliary with the subject. Did Jenny go to school? Did she see a strange man? Did she say with a clear voice? Did he tell Jenny her teacher is sick? Okay, as you see now in the question, we just swap the position or change the position of the auxiliary with the subject. Now, in English, we have a lot of irregular verbs that are very, very important to remember and to memorize. For example, we have eat, ate, drive, drove, have, had, let, teach, taught, speak, spoke. Now, these verbs change completely or remain unchanged. So, each verb has a different way of changing its form into the past. For example, drive becomes drove and speak became spoke. Okay? You need to remember these verbs or memorize them. That's why I have made a list for you. So, this list we have the present forms of the verb and we have the past forms of the verb, and it is crucial and very important that you remember them all. Let's see some examples. We have, for example, say, said, make, made. Now I go, but in the past I went. Now I take, but in the past I took. Now I come, but in the past I came, etc. So please, it's better if you write this chart in your copybooks and try to memorize them all. Now, let's move on to exercises. Now, in the first exercise, it's very simple, it's very easy. You just have to fill in the forms, fill in the missing verbs. For example, the first one, we have fell in the past. What is the infinitive of the verb? And on the second one, we have draw. What is the past of the verb? For example, fell, the infinitive form is fall with F, A, double L. Okay? And after you finish this exercise, you're going to use these verbs here to the exercise number 2. For example, Adam a new iPad last week. So you have to take the verbs from the chart that was before and fill in the blanks in this exercise. Remember that the plus means affirmative, the question mark means interrogative, and the minus mark or the dash means negative form. Okay? And in the last exercise, you just have to choose one correct choice. For example, we have in the first one, she everything on a yard sale. So, is it sold or sold or sell? Okay? Well, I wish you the best of luck. Please focus during the video. If you didn't understand something, you can always go back to the video, rewind back, and if you find that something is very, very difficult for you, you can always contact me through Facebook or WhatsApp or any other social media. Okay? I wish you the best of luck. Work hard.